Elizabeth, can you tell us where you were born?
Yes. Cluj, Romania.
And were there a lot of Jewish families
Yes.
living in that particular city?
Yes.
A big Jewish community?
Big, very big.
What can you tell us about your brothers and sisters?
Well, I was born, between the two brothers was 20 months. And I was born after 5.5 years. And my father, after he had two boys, he wanted a girl. My mother went to a doctor and told him that why she came. And the doctor said, go home and tell him that I guarantee this is a girl.
And the girl was you?
And the girl was me. And my father, after I was born, he was so happy. And he went on the bicycle, and he went in the street, and he said, I have a girl, I have a girl. He went screaming. So he was very, very happy. And
your mom was a good cook, I understand.
Yes.
What are some of the things that she cooked for the family?
Well, chicken soup, cabbage, Yiddish things like gefilte fish, and fish, a lot of fish, and chicken. And so she was a very good cook.
And the family always ate together at the same
Yes.
table, like
Yes.
a family?
Yes.
What did Papa do for a living?
Oh, when he was young, the parents, they sent him to Germany to learn how to be a tailor. But he became a cutter, to cut the whole dress.
So it appears that you had quite a normal and wonderful life with your family. Can you remember what happened to change the way things were back in those days? What happened? When did you feel something was not right?
Number one, when I was in the school, there were a lot of Christian people, not just Jewish. And everybody, the girls, they had to cook. And I had to cook also. And the director was with us. And after I cooked, the director told me, taste it. And I said, no, I'm kosher. And she said, but when you cook something, you have to taste it. So when I went home, and I told for my mother that I had to taste the food. And she said, no, you don't have to, because you are kosher, and you don't taste trifle things. So anyway, this was number one, but I was feeling that I'm Jewish.
Do you remember being arrested and taken from your home?
Yes. But that time I was 17.
At 17. What happened?
Well, I really don't know. They just talking about they're gonna come and we have to pack just what we can carry.
And who is they?
The state.
Did you recognize German uniforms?
No. No, they were not in German uniform. It just came a truck, and with the packages that we could carry, we have to go up in the trunk. And leave everything behind.
Was the entire family taken away at one time?
Yes.
Why do you think the non-Jewish families, the Gentile families, did not help the Jews?
Yes, they did.
They did?
I had a we had a neighbor who was across the street, and everybody adored me, and they wanted to take me away because they had relatives in Romania. It was a boy. I was friend with his sister, and the sister and me, we loved each other, and he hated me because I was Jewish, and he didn't let me to go to their home. So the sister used to come to our home, and my mother treated her like a friend, like my friend. And this guy came, and he was clapping. He was so anti-Semite.
He was clapping. He was so anti-Semitic.
Yes.
He was happy that you were being taken away. And where were you taken? Did you go to a ghetto?
Yes, that was the ghetto.
And where was the ghetto?
This was in Cluj, out of Cluj. I mean the side of Cluj.
So all the Jews were moved out of your little city into a ghetto?
A ghetto, yes.
And how was life in the ghetto?
Well, I don't know. I was 17, and I was full of life. So I remember just singing and just dancing and just 17. So we had a nice time and with my girlfriends. So we were happy. But my parents were crying a lot.
Did your parents know what was about to happen?
Yes. Yes.
What did happen?
Well, after I don't know how many weeks or days, or I have no idea, but they put us in wagons, you know what, the animals are transported. And it was no seats. We were sitting in the bottom of the wagons. Okay. And my father loved me so much that he was holding me in his lap to sleep, and he was cuddling me. We were 3 days in these wagons. And then we went directly to the Auschwitz. I mean, the camp where we were. They cut our hair everywhere. They took us away, all the clothes and everything. They had to check it. And then I was feeling what's going on.
When you arrived at Auschwitz and they took everything from you, were you separated into different groups?
Yes. My little brother went with my father, and I was with my mother. And then my mother heard that he is too young. He was 11, my brother. And they told her, send it to his father. And my mother did. And then my father was young enough to go to work. So my mother was killed with him, the first thing. And I was alone. But some friends were knowing that my father, how much he loved me, and they wanted to save me. And so that happened that somebody found me who said that she is cousin with my father, and she's gonna take care of me. So after they took us to a shower, and took away all the dresses and everything. They threw us some clothes, which was somebody else's, and I was so small, so the dress was so long, and with a hand, I didn't have nothing to cut it. With a hand, I just took out the thread, and I ripped the cloth, and because they cut my hair, and it was very cold, and it was raining, and I felt the drops that they are that big knocking in my head. This was a very bad feeling. And I cut down the bottom of the shirt, of the dress. It was a black evening gown, evening dress. And I cut down that one, and I wrapped my head to not feel that drops. But I didn't heard about my mother or my brother or father. They took us in a barrack in Auschwitz. And there, a lot of people, when they find out who I am, they came to help me. And then I got a diarrhea, and I was so weak. And they gave us dishes, but a big dish with some food, like in the morning coffee, and that's it. And we had to drink from the same dish, one by one. And then this friend who said that she is the cousin for my father, she came to help me. When I got the diarrhea and I buried the dress, she came and undressed herself, and she gave me her dress, and she was taking care of me. Okay, it was no bathroom. It was a barrack with a bench and with horse, but I couldn't get there. And then to sleeping, we had to stand, because when it was rain, then the barrack was from material and came in the rain, so the floor was wet. So we were standing, hugging each other to not fall down. I'm telling you that even to remember, it's hurting me. So then I find two girls who was from Cluj, same age, and when we were standing every day, the German woman, because was no man, just woman was watching over us. She came and she was number 5 in each row, and she was coming, but I was so weak that I couldn't stand or hold the head up. So I find two girls from the same city, and they were holding me. One was holding my head, and the other one was holding me to stand straight. Because if they're gonna see that I'm weak and what's happening with me, they would take me to the gas chamber.
Elizabeth, can you explain how you were able to survive?
Well, I didn't know that my mother and my brother is killed. My father was in another camp, and he was working. I don't know what. I never find out. Just I know that 1 month before the liberation, he passed away. He got sick. I don't know what kind of sickness. But I find out only when I came home. These girls, I have the picture. They were taking care of me. They even cut the bread. They gave us a slice of bread. The coffee was like just like when you wash the dishes after the coffee. But they gave us a piece of bread, and they cut their bread all around the outside of the bread, and they feed me with that one. They didn't give me the coffee, they didn't give me the center of the bread. And this helped me. So I don't know, God was with me, that I find people like this to help me. They helped me. They saved me. And with these two girls, I was for a whole year together. And we agreed to not run after each other, because then we're gonna be killed.
After liberation, you were able to go directly back to your home.
Yes. But it's a long story. Till then, I was sent from Auschwitz, and I met a lot of people there. So from one camp to the other, next camp, they were Czech people, and they took them away, and then they took us there. In the first camp, we had just the floor and standing. But in the other one, second floor, the bed. And we got a room like that. And we were there for I don't know how long, but after that they took us in Germany or where, in Poland, I don't remember. But they feed us a little bit better. And after that, they took us to Dudenstadt. And they put me in a fabric to a huge machine which was making bullets. And they put me, I don't know why, I was so little and skinny, they put me to a big machine that I should bring from the magazine a big basket with the bullets, which had to be cut and made for the size and style to fit the, I don't know what kind of gun or something. And they put me to this machine, and I had to bring the bullets from the magazine, which was very heavy. I was working 12 hours, 1 week at night and 1 week daytime.
Making bullets.
Making the bullets. And in the morning they give us a little coffee, but was mostly just water. It was no sweet, nothing. A slice of bread in the morning. For lunch, they give us, it was like a kitchen where they were cooking, but it was just barley, cooked barley. Sometimes it was a piece of carrot or I don't know, potato. And that was the food for the day. And in the evening, they give us a slice of bread with a piece of butter, and that was the dinner.
Elizabeth, you lost your entire family.
Yes.
People say that God is all-knowing and all-powerful. In your opinion, is God good?
Yes.
Can you explain that?
Well, yes, I can. I was all the time thinking and begging my parents to watch over me, not the God. And they did. With the God's help, I survived. And I don't blame the God that this happened. I don't blame the Germans. Listen to this. A piece of wire what was cut from the bullets, it came out this way. The rest went going out that way. And my girlfriend, who we survived together, she was pulling that out to the other side of the machine. And what happened, I don't know how come, one piece of wire came towards me. She couldn't catch it. And that wire cut my dress here. This long dress. And the boss who was with us, the German, he said, "Elizabeth, what is this?" So I told him, I didn't know German, but I told him, and I don't know what language, that the wire cut it. And he said, "Why don't you sew it? Because it was up to here." And I said, "No needle, no thread." Next day, he brought me thread and one how do you call that? Needle. And he said, "Sew it. Can you sew?" I said, "Yes." The next day, when I brought back the needle and the thread, he said, "You keep it."
Okay.
And I said, I will never say that all the German people are bad.